Hey, you ever thought about starting your own podcast, but don't know what to do or where to go or how to even start a podcast? Well, I got the answer for you. It's called Anchor. Anchor is the only app where you can record, edit, distribute your podcast to multiple platforms like Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcast, and other platforms. Why don't you try it out? Just go to anchor.fm and start your podcast and become a podcaster.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
What's going on, everybody?
Audio
What's
Jungle.
going on? What's going on? Stay loyal, stay righteous, stay true to yourself. Stay loyal, stay righteous, stay true to yourself.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy w-ENRI, aka TDA, the Devil's Advocate, and we are back with another episode of I'm Just Saying, the podcast with Henry. I'm here with a short podcast, nothing too long, man. First off, man, Facebook, y'all trash. Just wanted to throw that out there. Facebook blocked me for the whole month of Black History Month because I said the word white dyke. But I said it in an empowering way. Like, I was basically referencing one. Like, the person I was referencing calls themselves a dyke. So I was like, just like the white dyke said, man, women can do anything men can do. So you can do it, shorty. I believe in you. And they blocked me for a whole month. They let me know I'm down for 30 days. And I won't be back in the algorithms for 60 days, which is crazy. Crazy. Anyway, man. What's good, y'all? What's going on? Just a few things I wanted to touch on. I wanted to give an update on what's going on with me and everything. Everything's good. First of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you, everybody. I see the listens. The listens are definitely going up. I appreciate the numbers. I think it was after my first day of Marcy episode to where now my whole Marcy crew, everybody in the P's is like listening, tuned in, following. So I appreciate that, man. I never was the type to go out and beg for like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Yo, can you support? They see the sweater. They see, yo, what's that? That's my podcast. Tune in. And that's that. Other than that, man, but I need to do some more promoting. I need to, because if I wanted this to be big, well, I don't know what I want this to be. I'm going to be honest with you. Because remember, this is just therapy for me. This ain't a podcast. This is just therapy. Things I feel I want to talk about. I should be able to talk about. So I talk about it. But other than that, man, everything's been smooth. Smooth sailing. I've been in a great place mentally. Been in a great place financially. Been in a great space spiritually. I gotta step my content game up though, man. I ain't gonna hold you when it comes to the streaming. You know what? Your boy getting a capture card. Your boy's gonna get a capture card, and I'm gonna stream to multiple platforms. After I try something out though. Cause I might go back to live stream. I ain't gonna hold you. Live stream might get my bread back. Matter of fact, it's Friday. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go back to live stream for the month and see what they talk about. I'm gonna go back to live stream this month and see what they talk about, because I thought I had a way, but I didn't have a way. Or do I have a way? I don't know. I'll see. Because all I want to do is stream the Well, I don't even have enough people in Facebook. Yeah, I just think I just need to stick to YouTube and what's the name. So yeah, I got away. I'm going to live stream. Tonight. We're gonna play that Cyberpunk, the new update. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But salute to my niggas, everybody elevating. Just wanted to send positive vibes out to the niggas who ain't elevating. I mean, I heard some bad news about some people, man. Not bad news, but it's not like bad, but it's like they downgraded the way they live. I mean, I can't wrap my head around it, but I can understand how a person could be in that situation, because I was once there myself. So I just want to say, my prayers with you, my brother. Hope you get out that situation and get yourself into a better living situation. And I know it's rough out there, man, but it's cool. So, this homeless population is getting crazy in New York City. Now, I know y'all used to like Skid Row and Cali and things like that, but they're creating those type of environments, homeless shelter encampments. They're making that in New York City, and a lot of New Yorkers are really, really upset. A lot of New Yorkers are not understanding why, but I have a theory. And I think not only is my theory correct, but I think I might be onto something when it comes to this theory. And other places. Now, the crazy part is I'm going to use these two states. Matter of fact, not even states. I'm going to use these two cities, LA and New York. And I'm pretty sure that my boy Rishi will be tuned in. So if I have to retract, whatever the word is, redact, whatever. If I have to come back and fix some shit that I had wrong, he'll let me know. And I'll definitely drop another podcast saying the things I got wrong. But y'all remember, crack cocaine I believe it hit Cali first. If you follow the story of, I forgot, the TV series. It's one of the hardest TV series out, too. Pause. Oh, my God. Is it Snow? I think it's Snow. I think that's the name of the series, Snow. But crack cocaine hit Cali, whatever like that. And this is strictly for people who can do the math with me. I'm going to say 70s Cali. By the time it got to New York, is the 80s. But long story short, I believe it was Ronald Reagan, one of them. It was, or Bush. It could have been Bush. It was Bush, Clinton, or Reagan, one of them. The war on drugs. I was too young. All right. So in the 80s. Like, I was born mid-80s. I was born 86. So everything that was happening in the 70s was impacting the 80s. I didn't have no recollection of it, or didn't have a recollection of it because, I mean, it was no recollection of it. So, I mean, I'm too young to remember. I wasn't born yet. But what I want to say is the pushers. Talking about the people out there getting real money. The big bosses. Matter of fact, not even big bosses. Whole entire organizations. Yes. A good example of what I'm trying to picture, what the picture I'm trying to paint for you guys, the perfect example is if you've ever seen New Jack City and the role that Wesley Snipes played, right? In New Jack City, when Wesley Snipes got arrested, it wasn't just Wesley Snipes who got arrested. They bodied the whole organization from the top dog to the little dog. It's a RICO thing. It's kind of like what they did to the mob. We're going to get the head, but everybody else will be getting caught. Matter of fact, modern day today, reenactment of that, or real life situation you could compare to that, will be the 6ix9ine situation. 6ix9ine ain't the only one that went down. It went from the head, and everybody, it trickled down. A snowball effect. I call it the avalanche, you know. But I said, though, I basically gave y'all the painting colors of the painting that I'm going to use. Gave y'all the colors. Here's the painting. The reason there is a huge influx of homeless people in New York City, and the reason, in my opinion, this is where Rishi's going to correct me if I'm wrong, but for some part, and I don't know the percentage part, so I'm not going to give it the percentage part, but for some part, the reason behind some of the homeless people in LA is because when you lock these individuals up, and when you lock the entire organization up, numbers are given out. And I know y'all talk about the hell you mean numbers are giving out. You mean docket numbers? No, not docket numbers. Prison time numbers. Now, we're going to do some simple math here. Head honchos and shit like that, they was giving away life. Now, of course, you fight for your freedom, so you might, you know what I'm saying? Some of them was getting numbers to where they thought they wasn't even going to be able to be released. 40 years, 50 years, 30 years. The common one, 25 years. Now think about it. Between the 70s and I say about 2000 is when the numbers was going crazy when it comes to jail time. When it comes to jail time and certain people, 15, 20, 25, 30 years, you cleaned up the streets and everybody's like, yay, it's the taxpayers. We're like, yay, 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 yay. But there's one thing we forget. The one thing, the most important thing we forget is the time. Now, if a dude it got locked up in the 80s, not 80s, if he's pushing, because you got to remember, when it comes to court, these things take time. You have a right to a speedy trial, but these things could take time. So, you could go out there and say you got locked up in 1990, right? You was 80, from 85 to 80 to 1990, you was pushing, making all the money, selling cocaine, crack, whatever you sell, blah, blah, right? In 1990, you get locked up. God damn, Takes about a year or two to fight your case, right? 92, you blow trial. You blow trial, we give you the max, 30 years. 30 years, right? And this is for, again, look at the timeline. This is for an individual in New York City who would have gotten locked up in 1992. No, 90. The case closes in 92. We're giving you 30 odd years. Now, I don't know if, depending on the individual, the 2 years he was locked up, if he was on bond, they might apply to your blah. But if you out there being one of the king pushers, depending on how your attorney fights it, you might have to fight those 2 years out on bond. Or if the judge sees, nah, nigga, you've been selling all this, making all this money, I mean, we not doing none of that. You're a menace to society. We need to keep you inside of prison. You're not going nowhere. So it depends. But if it was straight up 92, got caught up out there, they gave you 30 years, what time you getting out? 1990, what time you getting out? See, we as civilians, we like, yes, the streets is clean, and we giving all, by the time we in year 2 or year 3, shit, for some people, 6 months in, they done forgot all about that. Oh, I forgot about that big bus. I'll guarantee you there are people today who forgot about GS9 and 6ix9ine and them being arrested. 6ix9ine has been out in the public so much, people probably forgot that man was in jail. That's how quick the memory, you know what I mean? That's how quick memory works. That's how fast things fly by. But going back to the timeline, 1990, 91, or 92, you get released 30 years later. Oh, now y'all with me, huh? Y'all doing the math. I see some of the light bulbs going off. Yeah, 2020, 2021, 2022. That will be your release date. Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought that was finished? Yeah, 2022. Oh, shit. Remember, the whole entire organization. And this is what I think when it comes to minorities wanting to be kingpins. Let me give y'all a word of advice for y'all niggas who trying to build organizations to be the drug lords of today. Stop following the fucking mob. Stop it. Stop it. It's like, first of all, if you want to be real, and I hate to be racial with this, they don't even like you niggas. They don't fuck with us. But somehow, some way, you have to think that you need to be like them. Let me tell you the difference between the mob and the nigga who got locked up in the 90s. Nothing. They both in jail. There is, put it like this. You can't go to a mob member and be like, you know what? You guys work real well, man. Ain't none of you niggas never been locked up. No, because they have. And yet I don't understand. See, that's what I don't understand about criminal. Why would you want to follow somebody who got caught? Like, why would you want to follow the ways and the organizational structure of people who've been caught? Rico, I'm not even gonna go there. But anyway, you fake organizations where y'all get caught, broken down, 30 years, and then you gotta remember, just like New Jack City, you know how that whole crew was getting locked up at one time? They ain't the only crew. They wasn't the only crew. They wasn't all the organizations. They were doing drug bust by drug bust by drug bust. And that's why I went 90, 91, 92. Because if they ain't catch Group A in 1990, they're going to catch y'all in 1991. They caught Group 3 in 1990. Cool. They caught Group 2 in 92. And Group 1 in 91. It don't matter when. Y'all off the streets and y'all got y'all 30 years, 40 years. 25. And the reason I was like 40 and 50 is because the ones in the 70s was getting those. They was throwing us away. Them Reagan eras and before, they was throwing us away. Oh, you doing what? Selling what to the community? What? 40 years. You gotta think about it. While you in there for 30, 40 years, what are you doing? Some people the crazy part is, and I don't know this from personal experience, but I know this from talking to people who's been locked up. There are more drugs in jail than there is out of the jail. I'm going to repeat that for those who ain't listening. There are drug dealers who seen more drugs inside of their prison cell than they sold. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. And it's facts. It can be documented. Go to anyone. Matter of fact, if you listening on YouTube, because other people listen on other platforms, and I appreciate everyone who listens on all platforms. Love Spotify, love podcasts, TuneIn, radio, Spreaker, Podbean, did I say Apple, Anchor itself, YouTube. I'm on 40 different platforms, but I just appreciate the fact that I'm able to sit here with you and go through this, and I appreciate everybody who's tuned in. But if you're watching this on YouTube, you could just Google the genre jail YouTuber, I guess that's the genre you look up, and listen to them. They'll tell you themselves. There's more drugs in there than it is outside. So you're telling me a man who got locked up for, year 1, year 2, he might be cool, I'm saying, I'm going. But he got 20 years, man. By year 5, he on that. Or he been in solitary confinement so long that by the time he get out after 30 years of being locked up and not, that man crazy. He ain't crazy. That's what they made him to be. Jail is there is no longer a such thing as a rehabilitation center. It's we're going to lock you away as long as we can to get this money for you. And then and the crazy part is people don't see that it's the recycling. Because you got to think about it. They got money off you being in jail for 30 years, correct? So you in there for 30 years. They made the money off you. Then when they throw you on the street, you homeless. So now you need homeless services. which they get grants for. Now y'all see the vicious circle of funding. That's all it is. It's a vicious circle of funding. That's what I'm gonna title this: the vicious circle of funding. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna title it like that because I ain't gonna title it that. I'll probably name it homeless something with a fire pick or whatever. I've been getting fire on my thumbnails. Lazy sometimes with it, but the ones I do make is fire. Y'all can't front. But yeah. So, like I was saying, back to the 70s in Cali, if a man got 30 years in the 70s and the 2000s, you know what I mean? And this is when I started finding about Skid Row. Skid Row probably was before then. You know what I'm saying? Skid Row probably was there already, but with other people getting out. After, you gotta think 1970, 30 years, 2000. People just getting out. If you got locked up in the 80s, got fit in, you know what I'm saying? They did the small fries, but they still own in the same facilities. They still own in the same prisons, all in the same drugs. And then when they get out, you're thinking, oh my God, these homeless men are crazy. What is this new influx of homeless people, especially in New York? They swear to God that they think people just came and dropped off a truck of homeless people and said, fuck it. No, there's things y'all got to consider and take into consideration. Rikers is closed, remember? There's no more Rikers in New York City. Well, there is, but there isn't. They're shutting that down. When COVID hit, and there was, you got 6 months left. Man, go ahead, bro. You got nonviolent crime? You selling drugs 40 years? Man, go ahead, man. Get out. Make a room for people. And these guys are old, stuck in their ways. I see them all the time, taking over the train stations. But what do you want them to do at the end of the day? What's the answer? Because you thought the answer was imprisoning these people for 30 and 40 years. For some drugs that you now have legal in America. We ain't even going to go there with that. Which is crazy. You lock a man up for 30 years, right? And I think it's Ohio or Pennsylvania, but there's a woman out there who sat there, was taking drugs on the job while testing evidence and had like 150 cases thrown out. And I guarantee you she ain't get 30. I guarantee you that white lady ain't get 30. Just throw that out there. So, no, there is no certain influx of homeless people. It's not and the crazy part is the government try to make, it's because the work market is bad. People are losing jobs so they can't work and pay the rent. No, we ain't talking about them. There's about 10,000 homeless people out here. Why? Because y'all released everybody on their release dates. They 25 and 30 years is up. You forgot about them. You done worked your way up to whatever political position you're in. And it's back to slap you in your face. It's back to say, hey, you forgot about us, but guess what, G? We right here. We ain't going anywhere. We right here. That's what it is, bro. Unless you kill humans, you ain't gonna get rid of them. Unless they, die naturally. But other than that, you can throw them whatever you want, though. They'll be back like boomerangs. Especially if there's ever a release date. And that's just what it is, man. 20, 30 years, 2022 is the release date. So no, there's no big influx of homeless people. No, nobody dropped off homeless people in New York City. It's just that it's time for people to be released from them 80s and 90s crimes that y'all threw niggas away for 30, 40 years, 20 years, 25 years. A man might only have 15, but when you in there, you might get in trouble to add on to your time. So it could have been on some shit like that. And they're still human. They still human. They still could be saved. Just say it, man. That's what's going on in New York right now. It's crazy out here. It's been crazy like that in LA. And other places too, man. Other states are getting crazy with the homeless people too. But again, remember, drugs was in America. It wasn't just Cali and New York. They were selling drugs throughout all the states. And niggas got locked up everywhere. So this might be the same case for everyone. Whatever presidency that ran that war on drugs, they started everything. Especially when they was the ones that brung them. But you know what? I'm going to leave that right there. Because, you know, Secret Service members be knocking people off. And I ain't got time to die. I got plans. Anyway, my little break is over. I had a little 30-minute break at work. I'm a morning shift guy now. Had a little 30 rest break before, you know, later on I get my hour lunch break. But now it's my little 30 rest break. So, resting up. My break is pretty much over. I just wanted to get this podcast in. Make sure the content continues, either weekly or bi-weekly. But, you know, if you're listening everywhere, like, share, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you're everywhere else, just hit the like button, thumbs up button, share it if you can. I'm trying to get my numbers up, honestly. So if you can, find it in your heart to help a brother get his numbers up, please, I appreciate you. Help me get my numbers up, man. Until next time, man. Check on your loved ones. Check on your loved ones. Check on your people you got locked up. It takes a village, man. It really do. And so a lot of these men and women, I haven't seen the women, but, you know, there have been women. It's different, man. The shelter system is way different for females and women with children than it is men. Trust me, as being a guy who was there, I know. Anyway, man, y'all know the slogan. Till next time, stay loyal, stay righteous, stay true to yourself. Peace.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
What's going on, everybody?
Audio
What's
Jungle.
going on? What's going on? Stay loyal, stay righteous, stay true to yourself. Stay loyal, stay righteous, stay true to yourself.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.